pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce our new clerk, Diane Taylor. She's been working with Becky and she got through her first election already. But they'll give a report on that later on. Motion to approve the minutes from the October 9th, which was our regular meeting. Excuse me, the October 12th, which was the clerk appointment meeting, and the October 23rd special meeting for the signature of the Manistee Township Board.
I'll make that motion to approve the minutes as presented.
It's been moved, supported that the minutes of the October 9th, 2014, the October 12th, 2014, and the October 23rd, 2014 meetings be accepted and placed on file. All in favor? Aye. None opposed? Carried. You've received a copy of the Treasurer's Report from the County Office.
I'll make a motion to accept the Treasurer's Report as presented.
I'll second.
It's been moved, supported that the Treasurer's Report be accepted and placed on file. All in favor? Aye. None opposed? Carried. The Planning Commission has a meeting tomorrow. Do we have minutes from the October 2nd meeting?
We had them last month, I think.
They were in the original one.
Oh, was there? Okay.
Proposed
The proposed minutes, right?
Yeah.
You get it, you get a chance to see them?
I wasn't at that meeting.
Oh, okay. You get it.
But I think they're just proposed, I don't think until tomorrow. They can't make them final until tomorrow.
Okay, hold on then. We'll get this right yet.
All we do is file them anyhow, and they're approved by the time they get here.
Okay. And there was no appeals meeting held.
Correct.
We received the correspondence from Diane's office in their packet. Anyone with anything to bring before the board at this time? County Commissioner isn't here. Just to find out.
County Commissioner, excuse me, is at the Fair Board meeting tonight. He says his excuse. And I don't know if he was picking favors by any means, I hope not, but this meeting's changed, so that's where Jeff is at.
Just to let the board know, and those in the audience, that on the Planning Commission agenda tomorrow, they're going to discuss a zoning ordinance amendment for shared access agreement. Plus, somehow, when we wrote the zoning ordinance, we forgot to allow banking and insurance in the commercial zone. So we hopefully can fix that. And the Planning Commission wanted us to look at agricultural uses in the R2 district. We had an appeal 2 months ago, maybe, on the Kieskowski farm. It has a new owner. They wanted to grow vegetables and stuff and have a roadside stand, and we had missed that also in the new ordinance. The county planner is going to come and talk to us about the floodplain and the new mapping that FEMA's doing, trying to explain that to the Planning Commission. What else? I attended in the last month several city water meetings and a meeting with the Little River Band of the Ottawa Indians on sewer. Cromer McGinnis Drain. I see that's on the agenda for later. Bar Lake Improvement Board, our next meeting's in March. They did a treatment September 18th for Phragmites. And at the same time, they evaluated the treatment they had made in July, and everybody seemed pretty happy with the results of that treatment. And we're trying to get the special assessment district on the winter tax roll. We got a few little issues to take care of with assessments, and I'm working with the assessor on that. In the office, I got my new PC computer, so I can get those GIS maps, or whatever, aerial maps from equalization. So I want to thank the board for that. Had 3 receipts. What were those? In addition, an accessory building and a fence for the month of October. And business has been pretty steady. I'm keeping busy.
That's great. Has there been any dialogue about this dog issue? Is there any,
No,
is there any?
not to me. I see it was on the planning commission. They came to the planning commission in
Right.
October.
Right.
That's in the proposed minutes, but I wasn't at that meeting. So.
And in our ordinance, if we want to do that now,
Yeah, that's fine.
how should I say, it's time sensitive, it's barking after 11 at night, and I don't know, 6 or 7 in the morning. And the neighbors complained that the barking was constant all day long. And I guess, after thinking about that and reading the ordinance, if you can get someone from the sheriff's department there, get them there after 11 o'clock without rewriting the ordinance.
I've made that suggestion to some
Okay.
people that live in the area.
Okay, I was just wondering if it was addressed or.
Nobody's coming to see me.
Okay.
Or calling me.
Is that it?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Chuck, anything going on at the fire department?
Just a little bit. I always got something going on. For the month of October, we had 9 fire-related runs, 12 medical. For other meetings, station trainings, and other activities, we had 11. That brings us 32 total activities. We also had 14 open burn permits, 24 campfires for a total of 38 for the month of October. Personnel hours were 420. I had 68 hours. The other officers had 84. So that comes to 572 hours for October. As far as apparatus, the replacement for 133, I did look into that other truck that I told you about in that proposal. They're not selling it. So we moved forward with the one that was from Brindley Mountain. So that'll take about 60 to 90 days. I have a copy of the sales agreement that I signed and sent to him. I'll give a copy tonight to you. And then it's getting ready for paint right now already. So that's one of the things that takes about 2 to 3 weeks. So we should see that maybe Christmas. I don't know. So keep you posted on that. They still have to do pump and lighter testing on it, and they still have to do a bunch of things that we requested that they do to it. So it'll be like a brand new used truck. The other trucks, we had a 131 had a minor hubcap thing the other day on a run. Hubcap came off and pulled the stem off, so we had a flat tire when we got on scene. So there'll be a bill come from Manistee Tire. And then 132, we're still waiting on some gauges and the guy to come install them and put a drain on that. I had talked about the drain that wasn't there because it came from Mississippi. They don't have to drain their tanks, I guess, for their pumps like we do. So we're still working on that. Under the station, we still have the station committee moving along, working on SCBA log sheets and keeping the areas clean and organized and stuff. And then we have a small little item we'd like to work on the south side of the building where the water runs off. We'll probably try to put some more stone on that. The water comes off that roof and that power of that water splashes the sand up on the south side of the building. So we want to try and protect that. I don't know if we'll get to that before snow flies, but that's something we're going to address. So if you get a chance, just look on that south side, you'll see what I'm talking about. It splashes up on the edge. Under equipment, we did receive all of the rest of the RIT team equipment that we ordered through the revenue sharing. we're waiting for the guy to come demonstrate a couple things for us. And then we did put in for that other revenue sharing thing with East Lake. We won't know about that until December 5th. We're still recruiting. We have 2 more applicants. Jonathan and Chris, we're still working with them to maybe next month we'll see if we can get them approved. Under training, we did some more joint training with East Lake. We went up to the casino last week, and a week before that we did some SCBA training. Up at the casino, we did some forward lays off the hydrants. It went pretty well. We have the hazardous material decontamination training we did on October 15th. Went well at the hospital. Officers' classes are continuing over the next 5 months at the station. And then under administrative, the training facility, the shipping containers, we'll work with the risk management fellow that was here, I can't remember his name right now, and make sure that, pardon?
Adam Godolphin?
Adam, yeah. We'll work with him and make sure we're following the right process, make sure we're covering everything. But when I talked to him that night, he said he didn't see a problem with it. FEMA grants, the smoke detector alarm campaign and the SCBA's. We got word back a couple weeks ago, finally. We didn't qualify. So we're looking at, currently looking at a couple other options for getting the same type of SCBA's and also maybe some smoke detectors to a really smaller program than what we're trying to do with the other smoke detector program. And then the automatic gate thing, I guess I got a copy of it, but I don't remember getting a copy of it.
We'll get another one.
I'll get another copy of it. We did a fire prevention thing up on the tribal grounds. Thanks to all the firefighters who helped make that happen. We went through an annual airport operating plan a couple weeks ago. We're still working on updating that because there's some things that came up with the recent things. And then we'll be working on some more SOPs, and I think Tom showed you what that PAR grant was about, what we're going to apply for.
We're going to discuss that.
Okay. And then another thing that I was going to bring up was some fire station software we've been looking at. It would help us track inventory, training, SCBA's, ladder testing, hose testing, kind of help organize stuff. The price for that is around $1,000 initial, and then annual fee of $150, which is really reasonable. So I'll have more information on that next month. And then under a special note, if anybody seen the paper today, Gus Thorne was in the paper. Or was that yesterday? I got my days mixed up.
Yesterday.
Yesterday's paper, sorry. 41 years of service, he turned in his gear. Gus is one of the most dedicated firefighters. He'll come day or night, no matter what the call is, and he'll be there for you. So when you see Gus, thank him. He's going to still be around the station on Monday nights. We still got some stuff for him to keep him busy because we got a lot of little things to organize. He called me today, and actually our different footprints that we have of the different buildings, he brought them all downstairs, and we're going to reorganize those, so he was doing that today already. So, and then again, we have that Facebook page. I believe we had 2,400 hits on the picture of Gus on there. We got him a cake 2 weeks ago, a week ago Monday, for a surprise for him. So, and that's all I have.
Questions? Thanks, Chuck.
Thank you.
Make sure you let the guys know we appreciate everything.
Okay.
Liquor inspector, there's, the only changes is that limited hours for Heathlands and Instalaunch. Myers Corporation has applied for a liquor license for the store. Oaks Prison Quarterly Report, we don't have one of those. Who is a liaison now? Joey was, correct?
Well, she was filling in for Claire.
Oh, that's right, she was, yeah. When will your next meeting be, any idea?
January.
Okay,
That's what we only meet quarterly.
okay. Revenue Sharing Board will meet on December 8th, and that will be the distribution of the grants from Cycle 2, 2014. And the Bar Lake Improvement Board will meet in March. Under unfinished business, the MRA contract, we had a chance to look at that, do a little investigation. For the period beginning July 1st, 2012 to June 30th, 2014 was obviously a 2-year. We paid $10,000 a year, paid quarterly. That was an even number of $10,000. Just up. So what? Well, how do you want to handle the new contract? I would suggest that we follow the same guidelines. I asked for a participation list. Didn't receive one, but
I'd like to make a motion that we do the same as we did last year.
That worked out all right for
Yeah.
you, like,
Yeah.
and that's the, you'd like to enter in a 2-year, ask for a 2-year?
2,500 up for there, for a total
Okay.
of 10,000 annual.
Okay.
That would be my motion.
A year,
Mhm.
20,000 for the 2-year contract.
Yep.
I'll support that motion.
It's been moved, supported that we sign a contract with the MRA for a 2-year contract, $10,000 per year, paid quarterly. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You probably want a roll call, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, call the roll, please.
Gons,
Yes.
Jankowitz,
Yes.
yes.
Yes. Okay. The clerk update, I'm not sure why that's on the agenda, other than your introduction of you as our new clerk.
I think we did it.
We're done.
Done.
McGinnis Drain update, there was a meeting
I don't remember.
last Thursday, right?
Last Thursday night.
Yeah, I don't remember the date, but, and I guess pretty much, help me if I mess this up, Guy. At this point in time, they are looking at repairing, and I don't believe they even know to what extent or what size or how it's gonna be repaired, is the existing pipe, underground pipe, 800 feet of it, and I believe it's the north 800 feet.
Right.
And then they've got some other, I shouldn't say options, but some other things on the burner in regards to helping that out, because if in fact we get a rain and spend, what is it, over, yeah, $365,000 or whatever, and if we have the same scenario as last time, we're gonna have the same results.
That's right.
So they are kicking the idea of an open ditch from approximately Forbes's property, which is, as we sit here, it's not exact, just this side of the bargain barn, half a mile, and cut an open trench south to the,
Highway. And then go
yeah, under the
highway.
highway and to the bluff of the river, not the river bottom, but the river flats.
Yeah, flats.
Or it comes out by the hospital.
No,
It'd be east.
Comes out on
This
the
is-
west end of the runway.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
this is gonna be closer to where the old drive-in was, probably real close to where the city water wells are.
Right. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, the water wells are out on the airport property.
Yeah, but between the drive-in and their,
Right.
yeah.
I think if they do some little further investigation, I've been told by the people in that area that that ditch is already in place, it just needs to be cleaned. There's a culvert underneath the road already.
That didn't come up at the meeting.
I've been told by the people in that area that it's already there.
That'd be a good thing.
Yeah.
Just trying to.
I haven't had a chance
They
to
were
go out
estimating
and
$1 million to
Yeah.
dig that ditch and cross the road, or get under the road.
$1 million?
That's what they said.
Where's that coming from?
Yeah, the
Did they have any idea where
the
that?
drainage district, they did talk about looking for grant money, and they don't know what the state of Michigan might kick in for that crossing.
And,
Yeah.
Um, Did they define the district yet?
They have the latest revision, if you will. They've expanded it. I have the map in my office, actually. They left a copy with me.
Because I did have people call me and ask me if this guy was legit. He identified himself and had his business card and everything, that
Right.
he was setting foot on their land and wanted to go across their land.
Right. And there were some people at the meeting who questioned where he put the line on their particular properties, and he offered to go out and walk it with them and try and straighten it out. So,
No,
and then the next meeting's, what, December, I forgot now.
it's the end of the month.
No,
it got changed because of things.
December 8th, a Monday.
Yes.
December 8th, the next meeting?
Yeah. Is it? Well, this one, we'll go on the other end. Or do you have the other end for revenue sharing?
We have the other.
You can be over here.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the same number.
I thought it
Didn't know
sounded
about,
familiar.
didn't know about
I
that.
thought it sounded familiar. Okay.
With all that's going on the rest of this month, nobody wanted to meet
Sure.
later this month,
Sure.
so.
Well, it's that magical time of the year.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, fellas. Under unfinished business, we passed a resolution designating Connie, myself, and Diane as signatories. Yep, for the general fund. And the parties involved would like to have it in the minutes. So I would entertain a motion that Connie, Diane, and myself be assigned
signatories.
for the Township General Fund transactions.
I'll support that motion.
Okay, is that what you needed?
That's what I needed, now we have to say all in favor.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed, carried. Under new business, we have a vacancy in the trustee position. We advertised for trustee. We have, you've looked at the applicants. I guess I have no recommendation. I don't think it's I don't know, it's a tough decision because the applicants that we received were all qualified.
We went through the same thing here just very recently. I would move that we wait a while to do that.
We have to have it done by the 23rd, I think, of this
Right,
month.
right.
Is that right, 23rd?
I think it's the 23rd of November.
Of this month.
Which is a Sunday.
Right. How does the rest of the board feel about putting this off, and I would have to have a special meeting? Doesn't matter to me. I don't know what we're gonna know between now and then, but whatever the board wants to do is fine with me. But it has to be done by the 23rd.
Why are we postponing it?
We're not, that was my suggestion, and it's not flying. So, if I may, I will withdraw my motion.
Oh, that was just a conversation. Was it a motion? I didn't know it was a motion, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And
So when would you like to do it, like the 15th, 16th?
Yeah, by email. No, I'll withdraw that, and we can do that now then.
Any thoughts? You're a little new to the
I am very
to the arena, or whatever you want to call it, but you have a voice as well.
Well, while I have read them, that's all I've done.
Okay. Probably not fair to put you in that position.
Is the floor now open then for,
Discussion?
well, have we withdrawn my motion?
You didn't get a second.
Pardon?
You didn't get a second?
Okay, okay.
I didn't call for a second. Is there a second? Is there a second?
A second for his motion,
Yes.
and his motion was to...
To delay.
To delay.
Relay.
I would second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved and supported that we delay the awarding of the township trustee position till when?
We would have to have a special meeting, but because we just got them today, Diane being new and may have some questions how the whole process goes, I
Okay.
think that it would be fair to have the opportunity to review and go through the steps.
Do you have a tentative date when you'd like to settle this?
Well, not the 15th or 16th, otherwise I'm good.
How about Monday or Wednesday of next week?
What are-
Monday's a whole lot better than Wednesday.
It's always Friday of this week.
Monday of next week, you want to meet? And resolve this?
Yep, I'm good with mine.
Does that
Monday
work for
okay with you?
everybody?
Yeah.
Time? What time works for you?
I don't care, doesn't matter. Anytime after 4 o'clock.
There you go. 5 o'clock?
What's the date?
4 o'clock.
I'll find out.
What's the date, John?
10.
And
The 10th, it's Monday.
Well, you work till 5, don't you, Connie?
I can get lunch whenever I want it, so I'll take it at the end of the day. It's good. 5 o'clock's good.
5 o'clock?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock?
On Monday.
Monday at 5 o'clock. I want to put that in the form of a motion that we postpone this till November 10th at 5 p.m. Is that second?
Yeah, I'll support it.
Then we'll support it, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed? Carried. You had a chance to look at the annual calendar. The only problem that I have is that, again, next, 1 year from now, we will be getting close to deer season again. And if I'm still upright and still in this position, we'd probably move it, but we can move it in September, October or something. We don't have to move it now, do we?
No, I haven't even seen it.
Any other conflicts with the annual calendar? January, February, March, okay with you, John?
Yeah. Yeah, February and March is cool.
Any questions, Dan?
No, I don't think so.
We will move the November meeting, but we don't have to move it now. Take it, we'll move it as we get closer to that time. Pardon me?
I'm looking at the calendar for 15. The regular meeting would be on the 12th,
Right,
opening day is Sunday.
right.
So
The Thursdays are real close to Sunday.
Yes, it is.
just information.
So it's Wednesday, too close.
No, that's what we're doing now.
So you could move it back one day.
seen him. Under the election update, the only, I'd like to comment, if I may, is that this is the first time that I've been as close to the election process in this capacity, but I cannot believe how many hours, how much time, how much concentration, and how many people the election workers and the chair people worked with. I mean, it was just a tremendous, they're going to give a report on the election, but it was constant activity. And with that, I'd just like to say thank you to everybody that was involved. Heard no negative comments. Everything went real smooth. Who's got the election report? You?
I do.
All right.
I like your kind words, thank you. We had a record turnout on Tuesday. We had 434 absentee ballots. We had 871 people walk through the door from 7 o'clock until 8 o'clock at night. So we had 1,305 people that voted. And that's 54% of our registered voters in the township. That's a very heavy turnout. We were lined up at the door at 7 o'clock. In fact, one car was sitting out there waiting when I got here at 6:15. And they stayed lined up most of the day. We had just 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, where we'd get a lull and there'd only be 2-3 people. The rest of the time, it was quite steady. The election workers were awesome. They did a great job. It took us a while to count afterwards. It's my first election, what can you say? It was just good, all the way around.
54% is pretty darn good. We've
That is
been around quite a while, haven't we?
That is a very good percentage. In terms of time, myself and 2 other people, we had close to 200 hours into that election over the last couple of weeks.
Well, good job.
Thanks.
No, thank you. Item number 4 is the idea for a copier for the hall. Is that
Yeah, I
something
asked for that to be on the agenda.
Okay, good.
And it's like, I think it's time to shop for a new copier because we spend a lot of time trying to make that one work instead of really copy with it. It's, you know, say nice things to it, then try physical, and then you try other words, and eventually you give up and you go downtown and you buy a copy. So I'm thinking that maybe we need to get a new copier. And as things are developing with the sewer and water, there's more documents coming in here than I've ever seen, and they're pretty thick that have to be reviewed and copied and gone through thoroughly. So I'm just asking, is it time that we start looking for a copier, and what do we want in a copier? Suggestions, yes, no, shop, don't shop.
Well, I think that's probably the only copier we've ever had, isn't it?
Well, we've had a few, but this is a long time.
I don't know what we want, Connie, in regards to a copier, but I think it's time to have one that does
Does
the
what we
job.
need, yeah, sure.
Right.
So if I took it upon myself to get some ideas of what's out there and what the costs are, and, you know, call Jack Miners and see if they can start a portfolio of copiers, then we can take a look at them and see what we need.
You know what you and Diane and Guy know what you need more than anybody does. You make more copies than. So I guess the answer is sure.
Okay, thank you. Do you want me to bring that back to the board for approval? Do you want me to just take it upon the ones that use it and make a decision and go with it up to a certain dollar amount?
I don't have a clue as to what the dollar amount is going to come in at.
Yeah.
Why don't we pair it together based on what we find, and then just bring it back
Okay.
with some recommendations from
Sure.
people that use it.
Find what you want and come back.
Okay.
This thing with Gus Storm was kind of a surprise to me. I didn't know that this was gonna take place. I think it'd only be fitting that the board send Gus a letter and, of thanks for his 41 years of service. And the fire department would like to apply for a power plan grant. As you see in the back of your power plan news, they issue a lot of grants. They're interested in the security system for the, Frank, I think you authored this grant, didn't you? Would you highlight it for us, please?
I think most everybody knows me. I'm Frank Folsom with the fire department.
Yes.
What we're proposing to do is install a security and station monitoring system in the fire station. It's going to do more than just control doors and in-locks and that type of thing. It's going to actually monitor temperature if we lose power, and those will make notification via our cell phones or internet or whatever we choose to do, so that we know what the status of the station is. If we lose power, it's not a staff station. We may not know that. If we show up for a fire, we can't get doors open and things like that. If we lose power, we will get a notification on our system. It's a hardwired system. It comes back to a computer that controls the various aspects of the security and monitoring equipment. So it's a little bit more than just swiping a card at a door. It does a lot more. It will act as a security system in that each door, if I can use this door as an example, it will have a motion sensor at the top. So if that door is open without any motion sensing being detected, it's going to think there's an intrusion because somebody got in without using a card and accessing the system. And it will send a notification that somebody has accessed it, what they call a forced entry. And then we will get that type of notification. Now, if somebody used a key instead of their card, it's going to sense that, especially from the outside. So somebody has accessed the system without using the proper credentialing to get into the building. So we would be notified of that. It's a scalable system too. While this is the base system, we're buying a lot of components that we wouldn't have to buy if you choose to expand that system. As an example, you could include on that system, even though it's at the fire station, the township offices here could be included on that system and built on to it. We're not trying to imply that there's a problem with theft, loss, anything like that. We're not implying that at all. But we do have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment too, and we should take some prudent precautions on protecting that equipment, whether it's from damage, from theft, from whatever may occur. So,
who's notified on forced entry? The sheriff's department?
No, they would come typically, it would come to our cell phones, the chief, whoever you decide gets that notification. That's the beauty of the system. If the chief changes phones, we can change the number. We could have it ring you if you want, or me, or if the chief's out of town, we can turn his off and turn somebody else on. That system is very flexible in that regard. So we did include on this a computer because we don't have the technology. We have an old computer that's not compliant. It's got Windows XP. It's no longer supported. So we're proposing a computer to be installed with it to run the system, but then that computer can do other duties too. But the software that the chief alluded to can run on that system with no problem. We would set it up so you'd have essentially one side of the computer running that network, the other side can be used for day-to-day activities. We would partition the computer so that we can use it for those two duties. And there is a backup system, a power backup on the computer too, because if the power goes off, it can't notify anybody if the computer goes off too. So it's a relatively inexpensive backup power supply system.
And what they're asking for from us is part of the
purpose of that is there's been a lot of elected officials surprised that something got applied for and they didn't know about it. So I understand what they're talking about here, that you understand the process or what we're applying for and that you're approving of that.
The total cost of the project is $7,907. Grant request is for $5,000, so there's a $2,900 match.
One thing I did not include in that is that's assuming that the vendor installs all the cabling, because this, as I indicated, it's cabled directly from this door to the computer. If that's something, I couldn't assume that we would do that that type of work, but that is something we could work out with the vendor. It's the same system I'm putting up in the government center in Beulah, and they allow us, if we want to run the cabling, they don't charge us for that. They just charge us for the cable. So that's something that we could do if we can find the staff and the resources to do that. So that may reduce that. This is a worst case dollar amount.
I'm in agreement of supporting these fellows in the project.
This is
So-
in the form of a resolution?
Yes, and so this is a resolution, if you would, it's short, so you can read it, if you would, please.
Thanks, Brent.
A resolution approving grant submission for fire department security and building monitoring improvements. Whereas the Township of Manistee recognizes the need for fire department security and station monitoring improvements to reduce related potential theft and damage to fire apparatus and other equipment. Whereas there is a risk reduction grant funding available through the Michigan Township Participating Plan, hence the PAR plan. Be it resolved, the Manistee Township Board approves the submission of a grant application to the Risk Reduction Grant Program through the PAR plan for the purchase of security hardware and software to be installed at the Manistee Township Fire Department.
So this goes hand in hand. If the grant were to fall through, then the township's not going to spend the $7,900.
No.
Is there an option to install this somewhere other than the fire department and still cover the fire department within the scope of this resolution?
The software can be accessible via the internet. That would be something that the vendor would set up. That computer could be at the station here, or at the township offices here. We chose to look to double duty that equipment because we don't have that technology now. And instead of buying another computer, we could do just with the same thing with one. So that was a choice that we made. But yes, your answer is yes, it could be installed here.
But the resolution would have to be revamped.
Well, not necessarily, because the security was still occurring up there.
Any other questions?
Perhaps. Okay.
What?
Well, the resolution calls for it to be installed at the Manistee Township Fire Department.
The security system.
Right. Hardware and software.
So you would like it to read differently? You generated this, didn't you, Frank? The resolution itself?
Right. The only thing that I was looking at is if the township wanted to utilize this type of software and security system with other buildings, they may want it more centrally located than at the fire hall. The fire hall might be the first area to use the security system. But there may be other areas you want to use it for as well.
You mean like this building?
Yes.
You
This
could
would be a
use it
good
as this
step.
building, it's just that the computer would be up there, right?
At first.
That's correct. Yeah, the computer, it's somewhat irrelevant where it's at because it's all internet accessible. If you have internet capability here, it'll work because it's all on a secure network via the internet. So that computer could be locked up here. In
So the
fact,
computer could be down here protecting that building or up there
Correct.
protecting this building.
yeah. And if you have any other off-site facilities you wanted to protect, you could use that. It's an expandable system. I didn't want to quote a dead-end system to where you, once you maxed out, you were cooked. But
So I make a motion that we sign that resolution as written.
Support?
I'll support it.
And move supported that we sign the resolution and forward that to the fire department to forward to the power plant. Any further discussion? Any call the roll, please? I'm sorry.
Is there any need for the computer down here per se?
No, because we have so many computers and
Right,
it's
okay,
accessed on the
okay,
internet, so.
okay. All right.
Roll call. Connie?
Yes.
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 thank you.
Thank you.
Again, thank you, fellas. Anything we're missing? Anything else?
I think you're doing fine.
Anything else?
Hey, I got a question.
Okay.
Whatever happened to the monies when Penny Park, the Village East Lake they came in 5-6 months ago or something? Whatever happened with that? Did they resolve their financial crisis? Did they get their money?
I'll be able to tell you maybe a little more about it. Second Wednesday of this month is their meeting, and I'm gonna go up there and, I guess I'm gonna present them with a bill for $1,215. That's what we paid in attorney fees, to try and find a way to lend them the money.
The second Wednesday of this month?
Yeah.
The 12th.
I'll make
7
sense
o'clock.
about it.
I'll be there.
No, that's what happened to that. I don't know what ever happened. I guess,
I-
according to Tim, they got a bank to lend, oh, I'm sorry. go
I
ahead.
do, yeah, they borrowed the money from themselves, is what they did. When the arrangement with the township couldn't proceed, and they were still looking for a way to pay their bills before they got the money back from the state, and they passed a resolution at last month's meeting in October to borrow that, what were they asking for, 50,000 or
60.
60,000 from themselves for their money market fund. So that's what they've done.
There was a little bit of misunderstanding there. Because when I went to explain our position, some of the people that were on the board up there didn't know that the people were down there asking for the money.
That's true. That came up at the village meeting also. The fire
You know,
department,
although everybody's in support of the project, it's just,
the fire department came here without the consent of the board from the village. I guess it wasn't the fire department, it was the
No.
Penny Park.
it was the
Yeah.
guys that have been working on
Yeah.
it. So, does that answer your question?
Yeah. Nope. Just never heard any more about it after that night they were here.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything else? You have a copy of the bills. Of course, a lot of them are blank because our meeting being so early. We won't know what the bills are for this month because they're not here yet. The bills that you do have that are authorized to pay.
make a motion to allow the bills paid as presented.
And how did we word that, along with, please help me, Becky, along with,
Those that are coming in, things like consumers and fuel man and PTE. and-
those that are,
So they're paid in a timely manner, we don't have a penalty.
support?
Support.
It's been moved, supported that we pay the bills as presented along with the monthly bills. Be forthcoming. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? Manistee County MTA will not meet in November, December, or January. Planning Commission is next, tomorrow. 7 p.m. Appeals Board, if there is one, will meet December 2nd. This board will meet again December 11th, 7:30. Bar Lake Improvement Board meets March 2nd.
December 8th. Wasn't it? No, that's right. I'm sorry.
That's
I got another meeting.
That's
Jotted
the
down
corner of the
here.
desk.
Right.
Any other public comment? No, motion's in order.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Been moved, supported, we adjourn. All in favor?